Hi everyone, first of all, thank you for watching my video. Today I would like to discuss with you Aspirating Smoke Detection Solution. Short form is ASD or HSSD or even VESDA. A quick overview of our company. FAST is abbreviations of Fire and Security Technology Group. Our team combines over 60 years experience in the industry, present a trusted partner to protect the corporate assets, business continuity by using high-quality product range. We assist customers across Asia in consultant design, fire and security solutions. Here are some of our leading brands. We will focus on VESDA solution today. VESDA or ASD or HSSD, normally considered as early warning smoke detection. It does not only protect, it does protect life, of course, and not stop over there. Its performance can help the business owner protect the facility and business continuity. For that reason, the product itself has proved to many valuable customer names as the APP, Maternal City, HSBC, Samsung or DHL, and many more. To fully understand the benefit that ASD can offer, we will go through the 5 main sessions. Smoke trends can be explained, graph of the smoke in the event of the fire. Who can be benefits from this system? We will have the brief comparisons between the ASD and other type of the solutions. The application is a different type of the projects. And lastly, we will also have some third-party standard. The smoke trend that explains the sensitivity or inoccurations. So the question is, how much smoke is 1% obscuration per meter? According to this graph, if we have 1% of the smoke in the air, then we would be able to see the person standing 45 meters away from us, but not further because the amount of the smoke in the air. 3% of the smoke restricted visibly to 12 meters. 0.1% of the smoke is hardly visible as we would be able to see 4 kilometers away. VESDA covers the range from 0.005 to 20%. It's a large range for us to consider. Typically 1,000 times more sensitive than traditional point detectors. VESDA have the wide range of the smoke level compared to the normal smoke detector or spark detector or point detector. As you can see over here, the conventional detector have very short range. In the event of the fire, we can divide it into the 4 main stages. Incipient stage. This stage occupies such a long time, it could be days or hours before the disaster. At this stage, we're not able to see the smoldering smoke, and sometimes we can smell the burning in the room. Stage 2, visible smoke. When smoke has increased to the large amount that we can see by our eyes and detect by the smoke detector or beam detector, at this stage, the automatic fire alarm system will activate the evacuation system to assist the people find the way out of the building and also activate the separation system if necessary. Stage 3, the flaming fire. This product works when there is the flame and using the flame detector. In the stage 4, the intense heat active the sprinkler system. It was at the very late stage. Yes, I agree that it can stop the fire. However, can you imagine your warehouse that full of water and destroy all the facility and good? The downtime to clean up and also on your business continuity. With multiple levels of the alarm or with the adjustable threshold, like we have the 4 stage: alert, action, fire 1 and fire 2. All of this we can change in the threshold, the smoke level. You are given the indication of the stage of the fire before there is the visible smoke, flame fire or intense heat, and often long before disruption, damage, or injuries can take place. The response option in the data center may be simply remove the power from the relevant server. With the additional time provided, you can do the after moving the data or process or gracefully shutting down the devices, because very early warning provide you indication of the risk during the incipient phase of the fire, like consequences are more likely to trend toward minimal damage and negligible business disruptions. As you can hear, the trend of the consequences, the more the level of the smoke increase, either the loss and the damage is also increasingly. This is the second session. We will discuss on who will be benefit of the ASD system. So who will be receive the benefit from the early warning smoke detection? First of all, our customer. The customer needs the service, supplies to continue without disruption. For example, for the bank, customers don't want to have the shutdown system at the time that they do the transaction of the money, the payment. For the supplier, they demand agreements and the payment of without breach. For employees, they expect to be safe in the facility and the workplace. For the shareholders expect the management to remain in control through any crisis, and they don't expect any fire. For the regulation agencies, demand that standards are met without exception. Fire hardly ever happens. Once it starts, it becomes a disaster for all businesses. We can calculate the cost of the fire by simply look at this iceberg. The obvious cost we can see is the building loss, equipment loss, a good loss, or data loss. Are they all that we lost? The answer, of course, no. More than that. We need to consider of the cost of the downtime when the operation needs to stop, or evacuations, cleaning up costs, the cost of penalty from authorities after the fire, the medical costs for employee who has affected by the fire event, etc. The list of the hidden costs of the fires are long, and as a business owner, we need to consider of that loss. The reality is the Vietnam has 2,245 cases of the fire in 2021. Singapore has scored 1,877 cases of the fire in 2020. The U.S. local fire department responds more than 1 million fires in 2020. The numbers can talk, and then it can show us how much loss. For example, the loss of $1.8 million in the energy industries because of the fire. For the warehouse fires, The note from NFPA, the data is either data, real data. The warehouse fire are not uncommon from 2014 to 2018. The estimate of the 1,410 warehouse structure fire, this is only for the warehouse, per year were reported to the U.S. Fire Department. These fires cause an annual average of 2 civilian deaths, injuries 20, and $159 million of dollar indirect property damage. It doesn't count of the business continuity costs and another cost, hidden costs. And 43% of the companies that experience a significant fire and disaster never reopen again. Really, on the alternative solution is okay to protect the lives and its own purpose. The passive fire protect can reduce the risk and the total loss. It does very little to reduce the business of interruptions. The suppression system, how about it? Is it the water or the gas? Create the risk of the business interruption and loss. Once it is suppressed, it will be cost a lot for the cleaning up and interrupt of business. For the insurance company, definitely is the option, but it does nothing to reduce the business interruptions or threats of the life safety. So when we think about this, all of these options, we need to also, if we consider of the business continuity, to avoid the business interruptions, we should think of the truly early warning system. For example, in this cloud of the fire event, we have the same amount of time in the event of event of fire. If the time of the detection is long, that means the time to assess and response is shorter. In some cases, does not have enough time to respond because the traditional technology detects the smoke very late and with less reliability. HSSD make and no time for the investigations and preventions. For the late detection means the minimal time for control and the opportunity to prevention is lost. This is the hasty response is inevitable. In the scenario of early detection, the early detection allows teams to investigate the alarm and escalate if needed, and resolve of the situation before the fire starts. Early detection also gives the stakeholder maximum time to make the decisions, allow time to collect critical information about the risk, allow for the backup, switch over, and shutdown of the system, prevent the disaster of loss of life, assets, and business continuity. In the unfortunate event of the fire cannot prevent it, and we will have the maximum time to respond properly. Time to evacuate the occupant, the release operations, back up the critical information, removal of critical equipment, and all stock. In the event of the fire, time could help us a lot to prevent the disaster. So, for example, time to investigate and under threat, repair staff and the visitor, time for us to evacuate, time for us to suppress the fire when it's small, and to avoid it to become the disaster. In many industrial projects have challenges to detect the smoke correctly because the smoke solution in the large open spaces, high airflow, air movement affected by the HVAC system. The airflow also affected by the thermal stratifications Furthermore, areas of difficult access, named as underfloor, ceiling space, duct, and inner rack of the warehouse and equipment cabinet. We consider these are the challenges for detection because the conventional point type of detector are low sensitivity. It's typically 1,000 times less sensitive than the quality ASD. Consider the passive fire unit because it sits on the ceiling and waits for the smoke to enter the chamber and detect. It does not able to report the blockage of the chamber window because it don't have the flow sensing. Prone to nuisance alarms because it's not able to filter out the dust. The system also is not able to filter out the dust. It's also reduce the sensitivity over time and allow to optics to become contaminations. On another hand, very early warning smoke detectors is 1,000 times more sensitive than smoke detector or boil detector. It works very well in the high dilutions and high airflow because it has very long and large range of the sensitivity and we can address it. Consider as the active unit because it actively sucking the smoke to enter the chamber and detect. With the flow sensing technology to ensure reliable sampling. Built-in filter is inside the detector. They have the filter to supply the clean air into the laser chamber, maintain the integrity of the optics for absolute smoke detections. It's also allowed to centralize maintenance can help the technical and end user to save time on the maintenance. Most fire codes mandate the installation of a sprinkler as a minimum level of the fire protections. However, sprinklers are predominantly designed to protect the human lives and facilities in the event of the fire. Their actuation is likely to cause significantly of damage to the content of the building like wood, computers, and your facilities, expensive automation line, production line, for example. Linear heat detectors have the low sensitivity and cannot detect the incipient fire at the early stages. As a previous discussion, beam detector can be the adequate sensitivity and they often have the maintenance and reliability issues. Good addressable in the many applications like smoke and boil detectors have performed poorly in the room with a large volume and high airflow like data center or atrium. Bronze due to the contamination, tampering, and blockage. It's also difficult to maintain at the ceiling level, especially in the engine rooms. In this small table compares the key difference between the point smoke detection and air sampling smoke detection. From the technology advancement to the system installation, their application in challenging environments meet the local costs and standards to the total cost of the ownership. It is clear that the VESDA ASD offers many advantages over the traditional smoke detector. We have been discussed on explain on the ASD solution, and here are the 7 reasons to apply in your projects, in your facility, in your factory, in your building. First of all, think of the business continuity is paramount. We will all understand that the fire is the top 3 business risks at all time. Why? Because when the fire is happen, it's become disaster and very hard to stop it. Let's discuss one by one why to use it in these 7 reasons. If your business needs to avoid downtime which might caused by fire, smoke, evacuations, false alarm, or damage to the equipment and property. For example, if they very like smoldering smoke, if we don't detect at the early stage, this smoke can be like contact with the water and also like the equipment, contact into the equipment, inside the equipment, it will be made a contamination and that's really destroy our equipment. And smoke where is smoke is difficult to detect. If your business in area with a high airflow like server room and warehouse, high ceiling or like smoke may be stratified, not reaching traditional detectors. In the case of the maintenance is difficult, so ASD system detector can be installed somewhere accessible. Only the sample pile can be inaccessible areas like high ceiling, underfloor equipment rack, production areas, inside duct, elevator shaft, and for example cold storage area. In some like unobtrusive detection is required like cathedrals, museum, mansion and estates, ornate architecture, modern architecture and prisons. There is also many places that is also like challenging to evacuate, like in the large number of the people are concentrated in the one area like stadium, cinema, where the access part is restricted like prisons, airport or railway stations, very limited and restricted of the escape way. When occupants need the extra help like inside the hospitals, patients need help or aged care facilities, we really need to early detection to respond of that. Even that in case of the fire, it's very difficult for us to evacuate and then helping the people to get out of that building. In the challenging environment, like traditional detectors are unsuitable for the hazardous or the polluted environment suffering from contaminations and unmonitored sampling. The high airflow low environment, cold storage facility, logistics center, for example, or minings. And last but not least, if the separation system are present. This is present to using the ASD for the very trustworthy the detection, so it gives the right signal to the separation system to avoid unnecessary separation release only and the hidden cost of the investment, safety risk, the downtime, or maybe the clean up after the separation release. The ASD system has been highly recommended by NFPA through the book of the standards. The product itself also has the approval from third-party organizations like UF, FM, EN, etc. Thank you for your time to watch my videos. If you have any question arise, please contact me at the cell as fast.expert or visit our website for more product range and solution with www.fast.expert. Thank you.